G'day guys and welcome, my name is Michael and I'm the DeadAussieGamer, here to share with you my tips, tricks, ideas and strategies for playing and running tabletop role-playing games. Today's video is dedicated to you guys. You guys, that's right, in the audience, because we have just hit a threshold over on Twitch. We have reached 1,000 followers on our Twitch platform, and I wanted to take a moment to thank you guys so much for your love and support over these years. Guys, it's just been so incredible to see so many people come out to support my channel and to support what I do. I have nothing but love and admiration for each and every one of you. Whether you comment on my videos, check out my streams, or just quietly lurk while we're doing our performances and stuff, guys, it's just been a blast, and you guys are absolutely amazing. Now, this video here has probably been my most requested video because, as many of you know, my day-to-day job is being a professional game master. The reason I don't talk about it too often is because I find it very business-orientated and rather boring as a topic, and I'd much rather talk about role-playing games than the industry of role-playing. So I've never really made a video about it, but because you guys have asked for it, and this video is about you guys, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So strap yourselves in as we delve into the art of being a professional game master. So first and foremost, what makes a professional game master is three different factors. The first is the standard to which we hold ourselves. How do you hold yourself when you are a professional game master versus how a person who simply is a game master would hold themselves is, in my opinion, so drastically different that if you do anything, even if you make money as a game master, if you don't hold these standards, that's not professional. It's a paid game master gig, sure, but not necessarily a professional game master gig. The second is, of course, the reach that you have. How much influence do you have? How much reputation have you accrued over the period of time that you have been a game master? That's the second, and probably the one that I'm most familiar with. The third, and probably the most difficult one to go in, is the main revenue. How much money can you make? Where can you get these? Where can you get enough support to be able to look after yourself and make it an actual career? And we're going to be talking about all three of these things. Now, starting, of course, with standards. Now, I know the name's going to come up, so I'm going to bring it up anyway, and that is Matthew Mercer. Matthew Mercer is a wonderful human being. I want you to know that I have nothing but the greatest respect for the man. He has done some amazing things and has put in so many hours to mastering his craft. But you do not need to be Matt Mercer in order to be a professional game master. It is wonderful to have aspirations. It is absolutely crucial to have aspirations. To say, I want to run a game like Critical Role is awesome, right? But ultimately, it's more important to remember that you yourself need to have standards for yourself that are unique to you. What do you have? What is it that makes you a great game master? Because that's ultimately what you're showing off. That's what you are putting yourself out there for. Whether you are running a game for 5 or 6 people who pay you for seats at the table, or if you're running a Twitch stream, whatever the case is, you are the person who holds yourself to the standard that you present. For me, there are a number of things that every professional game master needs. You do not need a green screen and, a really pretty setup. You don't need that. What you need is you need to remember to be a good host. A good host is someone who always appears welcoming, someone who always engages with people who are present at the game, and someone who is always friendly and just inviting. If you, as a game master, show up to your session, especially if you've been paid for the session, and you're just like, yep, okay, cool, we're starting 2 minutes late, so we'll go 2 minutes over. All right, we're going to run the game. Okay, here we go. And there, and we just run a game clinically. That, for me, is not a professional game master. That's a paid game master. But a professional game master is someone who makes you feel like you're there with friends, like you're there with people that you just want to hang out with forever, because that's what it's about. It's an entertainment job, right? So be entertaining. So yes, also make sure that your appearance is decent, right? Don't come in with a stained shirt covered in nachos. Don't, film with your bedroom in the background, a big pile of stinking laundry and a dog licking themselves behind you. That's not how you stream. That's not how you do stuff. Again, that is how you do fine as a regular game master, but not a professional one. And lastly, know your stuff. And if you're wrong, know when to call it. I definitely can be a person who can attest to the fact that I've gotten things wrong live on stream before. Does that make me not professional? Of course not. But what I don't do is I don't just sort of sit there fumbling and not know what to do. I turn around and say, okay, guys, I'm going to quickly look up these rules, but if any of you know these, then I'll defer to you guys. Because keeping the game flowing and making sure that you use your time efficiently is a sign of a good and a professional game master. So that is the standard that I hold. That's a base standard. Good time management, good hosting, and of course the welcoming persona. These are all standards that I always keep. Raising those standards is what separates somebody just getting into the pro gaming scene into the people who have been there for a while. If you come and watch my channel, you'll know that there is a lot of production goes into it. This is because my background is in film and television. So I like pretty things. I love the background. I like things like the subtle smoke animation. I like the Hero Forge minis, not only because it promotes my sponsor by showing off some of the really cool stuff you can do with it. And by the way, yes, again, Hero Forge, very cool stuff, which we will talk about later. But it looks cool, right? And I like things that look cool. Even the little text thing I've started doing. Before I used to just have the straight text, and now I've got these really cool highlighted text. Little tiny things that you use and you learn and you add over time make you and your channel grow and unique. But it doesn't need to be there right at the start. So those standards, have your foundation, and build those standards over time until you're at a point where you're in that space where you're competing with everyone and you're making a stream that is just high quality. The second element is reputation. Now, reputation's a tough one because reputation is something that we build over time. Unlike a lot of other occupations, being a professional game master does not have a certificate or a degree that you can just hang up on a wall behind you like a doctor and go, yes, this is right. I've spent the last 4 years studying at the University of Cambridge in the art of Dungeons and Dragons. And why I'm German, I have no idea, but I do not know any German universities. But if I did, then please let me know in chat so I will be aware of them. But yes, I am now a professional game master because this is what my degree says, and I have opened up my own GMing firm, and you can now come and play. That is not how game masters work. It's all reputation. It is all about what people know about you, what people know you are as a performer, a game master, or whatever. Let's start with the home game master. You want to get people involved. You want to have 4 or 5 folks that just pay you to come and play a game. That's fantastic. The first thing I do is I would look at your local game stores, local haunts, and even your local conventions, because there are a lot of opportunities there for people to host games, one-shots in particular, that are paid for. I know, for example, when I was at Gen Con, there was a number of opportunities to create small paid ticketed events where people would pay to have a seat at a table with a game master. And anyone could sign up for those. It was great. It was very engaging. It was very fun. And it's a wonderful way, if I turned around and if I lived in Indianapolis, to be able to say, hey, guys, look, I live here. And if you guys are just visiting for the con, then great. If you guys do live in the area, however, yeah, you can hire me to run games and do some cool stuff. It's a great way to connect with people. And that's kind of one of the cool things that you can do with that. The second type of reputation building is through a website that has the ability for you to be able to be rated by players. Now, Roll20 is probably the most commonly used platform for that, but there is a website that I love using. I promoted them a few years ago now, and they're still going strong, and it's a wonderful website. It's called startplaying.games. It's run by the guys from TPK, the TPK guys who do stuff on Twitch, and startplaying.games allows you to not only put up digital games for people to find on the internet, but also pricings, what games you're used to. Even if you've got like a YouTube channel or a Twitch channel, you can actually create a showreel and a portfolio for players to be able to understand better who it is that they're asking to GM for them. And that for me is just so important, because in this space, as a player, you want to know what you're paying for, and the site definitely helps you do that. So the link will be in the description for that below, so be sure to check that out as well. Now, yes, and I am also on there, but I haven't checked there for a while. Now, bear in mind, that is because another thing that you can do in order to generate revenue we will be talking about later is, of course, crowdfunding and Patreon. So we will be talking about that a little later. Now, another element of reputation is your presence. Who are you? Who are you as an individual? Where have you shown up? What have you done? One thing that I do more often than not is I spend a lot of time with other Twitch streamers and the like, because I am a performance GM. Now, we've mentioned the home GM before, someone who's paid to, run games for a small group of people. The second type is the pro GM performer. That is, people pay to watch me play. People will pay to interact or influence my games live during a show. That means as I'm playing, they can give inspiration and give advantage to some of my players, or they can summon boss monsters at random intervals through donating to my channel. All donations go towards my players and and myself, helping keep the channel alive and doing stuff. But that's how that revenue comes in. It is about engaging with that audience. My reputation has come from my interactions with a variety of different streams. Not just my game, but my time spent with How to Be a Great Game Master, my time spent on the Dungeons & Dragons channel, my time spent with WSD20, World Anvil. All these places have slowly but surely introduced audiences to who the Dead Aussie Gamer is. And when they come to my channel, they get to see me in my element, doing my stuff. So reputation is about where you are and how much people get to see you. If you're starting out in the scene, create your own channel, start building your own community, but always be present in other people's communities. Jump from stream to stream, go check people out, and if you find a streamer that you really love, respect, and admire, then promote them as well, right? By promoting them, they then value you as a member. And as part of their community, you can then open up a conversation and a dialogue to then sort of say, hey, if I do stuff with you, will you do stuff with me? And build and grow that reputation to a point where, you're part of that community now. I do that very often, and it's been one of the most rewarding experiences that I have. It can be a bit nerve-wracking, but the important thing is to remember that it is about supporting each other and lifting each other up, and not about you trying to make a quick buck by featuring celebrities on your show. Now, there are some streams that do this, and I want to talk about probably one of my favorite streams, the Mercs of Mischief. Now, the Mercs of Mischief run a series of variety games, which are wonderful to watch, and they have celebrity guests come onto their channel, and they perform running games. The Game Master is the facilitator of that particular game and does a phenomenal job. He also uses the platform to not only promote their content and their materials, but the materials and content of the performers as well. A lot of them, such as JoeCat, who's featured, and Dingo Doodles, a few animators, myself as well, have performed on there, and it's been just an absolutely rewarding experience, because what it allows us to do is it allows us to interact and communicate, and they act as a point in which other performers get to meet and interact with each other. It creates a nexus of meeting places for people who would otherwise not necessarily get a chance to interact with each other. If you could find people like that, or hell, just go visit the Mercs of Mischief, it's a great starting point, because it's all about meeting people and building that reputation. And yeah, they nail that. They absolutely nail it. Again, one of my favorite groups to work with. I haven't worked with them for a while, but if you're watching, I'm coming for you. No, that's fine. They're cool. Okay. Next up, of course, is the revenue streams. Now, the third type of Game Master goes in heavily with the revenue stream, and that is the sponsored Game Master. Now, the sponsored Game Master is someone who has either built up a reputation that is incredibly high, has built up a following, or a group of people who have just subscribed to watching materials produced by that Game Master to a certain degree, or someone who actively utilizes, and promotes a particular sponsor's product. Just saying. People like that will often find that with the right kind of connection, you can receive sponsorship to use materials and become a professional game master that way. For me, I have a wonderful array of relationships that I have built in a number of different ways, that each individual sponsorship does not provide me very much. but together they provide me enough to be able to sustain a reasonable working income, right? So I'm not going to go through any of the minutiae of the numbers or anything like that, but I will say this. Hero Forge were absolutely wonderful. They approached me after I had done some stuff with the Mercs of Mischief, which, as I previously mentioned, is all about the handshaking and the reputation. And they had spoken highly of me. Hero Forge had heard of that. I offered some, packages and stuff, and eventually came to a wonderful arrangement where I get to utilize their wonderful product, talk about it whenever I want to, and use it for all my art, which is awesome because I think it's an awesome art tool that even I can use. So, yay. And this is my game master, DeadAussieGamer. I like him. I think he's cool. Anyway, so yes, believing in using in a product also helps as well, and I already knew plenty about Hero Forge before I even approached them. So yes, first is the handshake. Having someone who knows a sponsor handshake for you and introduce you. The second type is going back to the convention. Going to a convention is one of the best things that you can do for your business if you are looking at being a professional game master, because that is where a lot of these production companies go. One of the most rewarding experiences I had was with Weird Games. I got to speak with a couple of the individuals from Weird when I went to America for Gen Con 2019, and meeting them was one of the most rewarding things I've done. Not only because I love the game, having played Malifaux and learning about Through the Breach, I was addicted to it, and it broke my heart that no one had heard about it, and so I was like, I need to tell people about Through the Breach. Oh my god. So I went and harassed them for a little bit and built a great relationship with them. They invested in me not because I had a massive following or because I was very charismatic, but because I'd put in the effort. I'd shown them that I was committed, dedicated, and wanted and believed in their product, that it was something I wanted to do. And over the years, they've supported me a number of times. In my endeavors to promote their product. So yes, going to a convention and actually getting some face time with some of these guys, best thing you can do when trying to chase sponsorship. The other way is simply being a wonderful human being. Now, what does that mean? Being a wonderful human being is quite simply one of the mantras that I have had since I was a kid. And that is, people will pay to work with people who are professional, who know what they're doing. Of course. But there is something to be said about people who are paid to work with people because they are people you want to work with. That's it. It's not about you being the best at what you do. It is just about being someone that people want to do things with. And I've met a number of people. Janet from World Anvil, for example, is one of my favorite human beings. And I will admit this openly. I love World Anvil. I can see how much effort goes into it. I can see from the streamers that run World Anvil and make their World Anvil setting, how robust and how incredible that software is. Same thing with Dungeon Fog. I've gotten to meet Till as well. Till, Dimitri, Janet, these guys, I all met through Guy from How to Be a Great GM, and their products are incredible. I am a awful world builder, and I am a terrible map maker, though with some guidance from both Janet, Dimitri, and Till, I have started learning a little bit more, right? I'm not comfortable promoting that stuff because I feel as though I'd do it no justice. I would be there just sort of like a caveman with a computer and like a bone just me make God name Ugg. Ugg is God of bones. God of bones. Yes. Anyway, I digress. Right? But Till, Janet, Dimitri, myself, Guy, we get on like a house on fire. We do. You put us in a room and there is just no stopping the love and the laughs, and we have a great time. And anytime, and I mean anytime, and it's been proven, if you've watched my channel, if you watch Guy's channel, actually, if you have watched my channel, if you watch Guy's channel, anytime Guy turns up and says, hey, Mike, I got a thing, I'm just like, yeah, I'm in. Same thing with Janet, same thing with Till, same thing with all these guys, that's what it's like, because I've built and nurtured a relationship with these people that makes them just want to play with me and want to have fun and want a game. Because ultimately, that's who these sponsors are. They are people who have invested heavily in the game and who have wanted nothing more than to to promote the game that you love with people like you. You know, they are people like you. The third type is, of course, the ones that you meet through shared reputation circles. So I was featured at the GaryCon game, and I got to meet a wonderful group of individuals. Not only did I get to meet Jamie from Level Up Dice, who who allowed me to become an affiliate, and a Diceomancer for Level Up Dice. He was on my table as a player, and he was absolutely fun to play with. He was someone who I greatly appreciated meeting because he was a fellow Australian, and that fell so heavily within my own mission statement of trying to help and promote Australian content creators in the role-playing game scene. So, you know, we shared a lot of talks, we shared a lot of stuff, but we occupied the same space because that was just simply what we had. We had a mutual acquaintance who had invited us to go and play a game together. And that's what it's all about. You know, you get to a position where you do that handshake thing that I mentioned before, but then following it up by having that conversation and getting to know them a little bit more. The other person I met at GaryCon was Ben from Sirenscape. Now, I'd known Ben for a while. I'd met him at Gen Con in 2019, very briefly, but, you know, it was kind of one of those, like, passing, like, high five, bye, you know, kind of moments. So I was very surprised that he remembered me. But I was asked, like, hey, you know, we wanna bring more people into GaryCon. You know, is there anyone you could ask? And because I'd known Ben, I met Ben, and because I knew how much I loved his material and I loved his stuff, I wanted to offer a something to invite him to come play with us. I said, we will make, you know, the Sirenscape stuff. By the way, Sirenscape, we will talk about Sirenscape in a minute, but, you know, I will let you, we will promote your stuff, we'll use your stuff in practice, we'll show everyone what it's going with, you know, and you can come play with us. And he did. And not only was he an amazing role player, freaking a hilarious role player, you know, he was just an absolutely down to earth and wonderful human being. And straight afterwards, we, you know, kept talking. We kept chatting about the game. We kept chatting about, you know, cool Sirenscape stuff. I found out that he made the sound effect for the Illithid ripping the brain out of a skull with a chicken carcass and some slime, which awesome. But, you know, that for me was a moment where, in order to build that bridge, to build that connection, it was about showing that passion and that investment and that application of the product that this other person was making. And that is another huge thing that you can do as a pro game master, is you can reach out to the people with the stuff that you use. If you play on Fantasy Grounds, reach out to Fantasy Grounds. If you use Sirenscape, damn sure reach out to Sirenscape. If you use, you know, like real hard dice and you want to use Level Up Dice, again, reach out to these people because they're looking for people who are passionate about what they do. Because they're passionate about what they do. They've created it. And which brings me to my my last point on revenue generation, and that is expense versus how much you earn. Now, it is not a simple answer to say that performing on a Twitch stream is going to make you money. It's not. It is a marriage of all of these things. And the way that all of these things will feed onto each other will create what I like to call a professional game master. Let me give you an example. Because of my work at the youth center, I am able to pay and fund a lot of my shows on Twitch. Because I have a lot of my shows on Twitch, I can meet and network with a wide variety of individuals who allow me to promote their products, who allow me to play games on their channel, who allow me to improve my reach as a performer. And as such, I get to make a lot of deals with a lot of these sponsors to not only promote their stuff, but to receive some of the stuff as well. This could be modules, this could be subscriptions to particular materials, which I then utilize to enhance my home games that I have for my characters who pay me on Patreon to play games. So I have my absolutely incredible sound sets from Sirenscape. All of my character art is done on Hero Forge. I use Fantasy Grounds for all of my stuff. You know, I've got a set of Level Up Hero dice here that I play when I'm playing in person. And all of these things make me, allow me to hone in and improve myself as a game master. And the better that I am at being a game master for that, boom, all of a sudden, the people I'm gaming with want me to game more. They want me to show up on their channels more. They want me to do collabs. They want to come show up on my channel. They want to meet me. My reach improves because people love how I roleplay, because I'm now improving how I roleplay. And then as we go back up here, the more people that are showing up on my channel, all of a sudden they're like, hey, this guy's actually getting a lot of eyes on our product. Let's start giving him some more stuff. Fantastic. The more stuff I get, the better I get, and the more games I run. And suddenly you've created this circle. This is the circle of the pro game master, and that is how you create a full-time career, is you just keep having everything feed into itself, and you keep building and expanding on it. That's it. That's my secret. That's all it comes down to. Now, again, there is more to this, and I don't really want to go for an hour telling you guys a tutorial on Pro Game Master. But if you guys have any questions, or if you want any suggestions, throw these questions out in the chat, because I would love to answer them. This, like I mentioned, is a dedicated video. This is for you guys. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask. I'm going to put links to everyone I've mentioned in the chat below. And guys, if you have not done so already, there is something that I would say that every GM is doing themselves a disservice if you are not using this. Use Sirenscape. Flat out. Just use Sirenscape. Yep. Doesn't matter. It's like, what kind of GM are you? Yeah, no, I'm just playing casually. Don't care. Go use Sirenscape. Why? Because Sirenscape is not only a affordable sound set, it is a absolutely massive level up when it comes to your game mastering. Creating the right atmosphere, creating the right mood, being able to create monster sound effects and stuff has just been a game changer for me. I rarely talk about stuff that I get worked up about, but one thing that works me up really, really heavily is getting to see a game master who has just immersed me so heavily in a game that I forget that I'm in front of a camera. And each and every time, it is because the sound set has just been juicy. It has been so on point, and Sirenscape has 9 out of 10 times been responsible for it. So, yeah, if you're looking at becoming a pro GM, start with Sirenscape. And then, yeah, after that, of course, start exploring the space. Start exploring what you want to be doing. So, yeah, that's me. That's it. Once again, guys, a massive thank you to everyone for all of your support. Guys, 1,000 followers on Twitch. I mean, I can't believe it. I can't believe that I've got 1,500 here on YouTube. That also blows my mind. Guys, we are starting to make a lot of headway here at the DeadAussieGamer. So I'm going to invite each and every one of you, if you have not done so already, drop by the Discord. The Discord is a direct connection to me. It's not a great site, not a great Discord, I'm going to admit that. But it is a way to connect to me directly and to connect to some wonderful and amazing role players as well. But more importantly, in the coming days, I will be releasing a live show called The Agony Mimic. The Agony Mimic is going to be a complaints department, I guess. It's where I'm going to take some of the worst horror stories from the internet regarding role-playing, and we're going to just break it down. We're going to talk about it and have the Agony Mimic eat it up and spit that crap out. So that is what we're going to be doing very, very soon, and I'd love to hear your stories, the good, the bad, and the ugly, over on the Agony Mimic. So, yeah, go check that out in the link below. And once again, big thank you, and a very big special thank you to our sponsors, of course, Hero Forge, where you can not only make these awesome minis, these incredible minis, by the way, but you can also have them printed in color as well. We're currently doing a series which will be available on this channel in full in like a couple of weeks, called Legendary. It is now airing on my Twitch channel, where we create a crowd-made Hero Forge mini and then print it, and then we're going to be doing a big review of that as well. So do check out that when we come around to it. And to, of course, our lovely fans who are here from Weird. Weird has recently done a promotion for my channel as well, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you. And I would like to announce that I am going to be doing a tutorial series on the Weird Gaming channel as well. And I'm going to be putting together a live play of Through the Breach, which is, as I mentioned, one of my favorite games as well. So do watch this space, watch the Twitch, watch the Discord for all of that cool stuff, because that is definitely coming. Thank you once again, everyone, and till next time, as always, from us to you, game hard, or die trying. Good night, folks.